Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Jordan the Maestro, and it's time for our weekly outlook. Let's get into the market to see all the moves that have happened and what we can do to prepare for the week to come. Let's go. All right, guys, so let us get started. So we started the week right around this point. Where was Sunday? This point over here. This is where we were in the market at this point over here. Okay, so if we take a zoomed out look at where we were at the start of the week, we had gold settling around an area of support. There was a smaller area of support that you'll be able to see a lot clearer on the 4-hour, but we were looking to see if it would fall and break through that support and go to that next level, which would be this area over here. Okay, and as we get to the 4-hour, as the market opened up, we had a impulsive move. We had a strong buy going to the next zone of resistance. We were able to capitalize on that buy, myself as well as the members in the free Telegram group. Okay, so this trade was called out. Pretty easy trade. So we had gold settling at this level of support. Once we were able to break this area over here, I just waited for a candle close, which is what I got. And then as the next candle was opening up, took my trade and took my 30 to 40 pips, you could say, and that was more than enough for me. Okay, the next trade, very important. We got to this level of resistance, right? And some may even think of this as a type of double top right here. Okay, so we get to this area over here, and then we come back around and we make another top. We match the area of resistance, right? And we get a drop. Okay, so double tops, people like to see it as double tops. Some people like to see it as an entire M, right? If you take a look at that. But pretty much that's the move that I was looking to catch on its way back down from this area of resistance. Okay, so once it came down here, once it broke this area, pretty much I knew I was good to go. This area over here, once we broke through that area, we're good to go. And take a look at the retest. Okay, so we broke through that area of support, and then we came back around to get a retest back to this area that we did break. Okay, from there we were good for the sell. Took this sell down back to that original area of support, and that was another successful trade. All right, now the next trade for the week, and let me erase some of this here. The next trade for the week came off of this area of support. So where we bounced off this area of resistance in order for us to get back down to that area, getting back down to that area also meant that we would have gotten a double bottom at that area as well. Okay, so now the thought process is, how is price behaving at this area? So just because price returns to an area of support or returns to an area of resistance is not cause to just think that that area will just hold, or neither is it cause to think that that area is going to break through. You do have to take a closer look at candlestick structure. Okay, the candlesticks matter, and what they're doing as price gets to those levels at those areas, they do matter. As we are looking at these candles are wicking. Okay, these candles are wicking. There is seller exhaustion as we get to this area of support, and because of that, I felt comfortable that after I would see some kind of impulsive move or strong move to the upside, I would be comfortable taking the buy right after. That is what happened. We had a very strong candle afterwards. Let's go down to the 30 minutes, take a closer look at this. So we had a very, very strong candle coming out, entered on the second candle, and was able to ride this trade upwards. Okay, quick 50 pips. Next is just market structure, pure market structure. Okay, so we have a large impulsive move on the upside. We had a retest, and whether you are a scalper or you are a intraday swing trader, this type of structure would fit into your parameters. Okay, so now we're looking for a continuation up. Now if you are a intraday or swing trader, you would take it at the end of the retest. So maybe you would get in at this point over here, Okay, I want to usually wait for the break of a particular zone, so resistance, support, etc. So what I looked at was the highest point at the end of that impulsive move, and then after it broke that area of resistance, pretty much, I was comfortable entering that trade right over here. Okay, so once it broke through, I entered that trade and was able to capitalize on that, okay? And so far, so good. The week was going very well. All wins so far until I got to this point over here. And in this point is where I could have definitely been better, okay? So this trade was a loss, and the psychology behind that was I saw that price struggled in this area of resistance, and on its way back down, I wanted to see the break of this area. Okay, so there was seller exhaustion in this area, and I felt that if we could get solid breaks below this area, or a solid break below this area, we'd be able to push further downside, at least up to the next area of support. Okay, so once I got the candle close below that area, I entered for a sell, and unfortunately, it's just one of those times where you're gonna take a loss. Okay, again, no strategy is ever gonna be 100%. And that was fine. I was completely fine with that loss. I was fine with my thinking, with my strategy. I felt that it went along with the way I traded. I was completely fine with that. And aside from that impulsive move on the next candle, we got a move to the downside. So that was completely fine. And you just move on. You move on to the next trade. All right, to end the week, we had gold break this area of resistance over here. So once we broke through this area of resistance, I was comfortable with that buy. I liked the way volume was pushing gold up. This actually happened overnight, so this was an activation of a buy stop. So once my buy stop got activated, rode my trade all the way up, and really chose the right TP, avoided the deep pullback, was able to capitalize on that for about 70 pips, I believe. Right, so that was a great trade to end the week, and gold was bullish as well to end the week after this deep retest back to the zone. Okay, so obviously you see why I love to trade gold. It follows structure beautifully, and you can really capitalize on these moves, and it fits just about any strategy if you are patient with it and allow the strategy to play out. So what do I see for the week to come? Let's take a zoomed out approach again, and let's see where we are in the market. So we're at an interesting point, very interesting point here, where we have a bullish move off of this area. Okay, so coming from this area over here, we're getting a bullish push. Okay, now if we take a look at things from a more zoomed out perspective, we were on a bullish run. Now we had a deep retest. Could this be the continuation upwards that will finally break through this area of resistance and take us into 2000? It just might be, okay? Now, based on what we're looking at here, we have a couple of areas that we would have to get through, right? This area over here seems to be a significant area of resistance, and I'm sure there are more on other lower time frames. But either way, for right now, for the time being, we are very much bullish. And what we should be looking at is for some type of a retest so that we may continue upwards, okay? So if we get our retest as the market opens up, starts to retest, we should see if it's going to retest to this area over here. Take a look at this, okay? This was an area of resistance. Can even drag that across to the left or even more, but that was an area of resistance. Let's see if we can get some kind of retest back to this area before we take off for the buy, okay? So if you are a pullback trader, you want to see the retest get back to this area, this previous resistance, and turn it into support, and then you take off for your buy. If you are a breakout trader, you want to see this area get broken first, right? Maybe after a retest, but you want to see this area get broken before you take off for that buy. Either way, there are opportunities. If we get a deeper retest, then we should be looking to capitalize on sells. I would feel more comfortable capitalizing on sells past this area. In this area, from this zone to this zone, I'd be a bit more comfortable capitalizing on sells in that area. okay? But that's what we are looking at with gold. We are bullish. We're looking to see if we're gonna fill up this entire range that we see here on the daily. We can fill it up, but let's see if price gives us the opportunity to fill up that entire range, match resistance, and then from there, we'll see what happens moving forward, okay? Let's take a look at just a few more pairs. Let's take a look at GJ. So GJ has been in this range for quite a while now. It finally broke out of that range, and this is where we are right now. So we broke out, got a retest back to this area of previous resistance, turned it into support, and we got a nice bullish run to the upside, okay? So now if we take a look at what price is doing again from that bullish run, we got a retest, or we're still getting that retest. Retest seems to be settling down, and we're going to see if we're going to take off from this area, okay? So we're going to see if price is going to hold up at this area or perhaps push a little lower before we take off for the buy, okay? There's still a lot of range on the left-hand side that we can make up, and we can see our next area of resistance just about in this area over here, okay? So we want to watch out for that when it comes to GJ, but plenty of opportunities to capitalize on. So if you are an intraday, again, if you're intraday swing trader, whatever, you want to be able to capitalize on this at the end of the retest. Now, we want to see if the retest is over, okay, but don't be surprised again if this pushes lower to this area over here before it takes off for the buy. Okay, but if you are a breakout trader, let's go down to the lower time frame. If you are a breakout trader, there are a couple of areas that you could take a look at to take either a buy or a sell. Okay, so this area over here, okay, if we break through this area over here, then we can at least ride it up to that next area of resistance on the 1 hour right over here. And the difference between that range, if we break out and we get it from here to here, you still have a nice 45 pip move to capitalize on. The same thing for the downside. There's an area of support over here, and if we break that area of support and you get your trade from here to here, then you also have a pretty good range. Although we see some levels of support on the left-hand side, but it's still 20 pips, 25 pips, still enough for some scalpers. And if it breaks through, of course, there's more towards the downside. So plenty of room to make money either way on GJ. You gotta watch, set alerts, and be ready for that, okay? So the last pair we'll look at is US 30. All right, US 30, this is where we are. Take a look at the daily, right? At the daily, we got to this area of support, bounced off that area of support, and now we are somewhat bullish again. All right, we have turned bullish again. Now at the 4 hour, what are we looking to see? Okay, we're looking to see where price will possibly retest to before we continue up for the buy, right? So there are plenty of areas. Yes, it can come back to this area right over here, but it also can come to this area, which was a previous resistance as well, okay? So it can retest back to this area. If we go to a lower time frame, it can very well retest back to this area over here and then take off for a buy, okay? So what I would like to see, I would like to let the market open up, see what US 30 is doing first. If it is indeed retesting, then I would just draw this area of resistance over here, and once it breaks out of this area, then I'd like to take my trade after this area of resistance right over here. Okay, but it just depends. Sometimes the market opens up and it goes for a bullish run, and then you got to wait for a retest a little bit later. But either way, I'd like to see US 30 do that before I'd feel comfortable taking that trade. But either way, we're looking bullish, guys. We're looking bullish on multiple markets. We want to take a look at what is going to happen and what opportunities are going to present themselves. Now remember, it's also NFP week as well, so you want to trade carefully. High impact news is coming. You don't want to get so caught up in the news and trade the initial news release, although you want to be able to prepare and trade around the news, understand what news comes out and how that's going to affect the markets, okay? So either way, guys, let's prepare. Plenty of opportunities presented themselves last week, and plenty of opportunities I believe will present themselves this week as well, okay? Just trade safe, trade carefully, follow your trading plan, and let's continue to make some money. All right, guys, hope you guys like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, guys. Jordan the Maestro. Until next time, peace.